Hey there, welcome back to another episode of Principles Based Business. Today, I want to cover the 4Ps method. What is that? It's how I run all of my businesses and what I use to help all of my consulting clients. It's something that I came up with as a concise shortening or whatever you want to call it in regards to my experience over the last 30 years of being self-employed. It's the things that I've learned that are the core, the principles of how I run businesses, how I help people run their businesses, and what I know works. So let's get started. It's 4Ps, the first one being positioning. See, in order for somebody to want to work with you, in order for somebody to buy something from you, in order for somebody to believe you, they need to believe that you are in the position to give them the advice they need, to create the solution that'll help them, or to understand what they're going through. If your positioning isn't done correctly, no matter how good your sales copy is, it's not going to convert. No matter how good your objection handling is, it's not going to work. See, your positioning comes from understanding not necessarily what you think of yourself, but what people who are listening to you think of you. It's all about them feeling like you do get them, you do understand them, that you do have the knowledge that they need. The second P is presence, and that's making sure that you're showing up wherever your ideal prospect is. Remember, you can't be on just one platform. You can't just show up in one way. In order for people to actually pay attention to you and remember you, with all the noise that's going on in today's world, they need to see you multiple times and they need to see you multiple ways. You can't just use the same messaging in one platform that you're going to use to another. Like whatever works on Facebook isn't going to work on Google. Whatever works on Google isn't going to work on YouTube. Is there exceptions to this? There's always exceptions to everything. But for the most part, if you want to create an effective message, it has to be curtailed to the platform that you're giving that message on. The third P is proximity. And this is the one that I think most people screw up the most. And they don't understand that a buyer is a buyer in different ways. A buyer is a buyer before they even know that they're going to buy. Right? They're still a buyer. They just don't realize that they need to buy it. A buyer who is right now ready to go, somebody who, has a leak in their roof, they need a plumber right now. They don't need you to tell them the story of how you became a plumber. And this is an example that I use from one of my mentors, one of my coaches, that's the illustration or example that he uses. So all these buyers have, or sellers, whatever, if you're in real estate, they all have different levels of awareness. And you can go back and read Gary Halbert's book, Breakthrough Advertising, to understand the different levels of that. And another episode will cover awareness and the different levels and how that works. But understand that you can't use the same messaging for somebody who has what one of the great copywriters, and I'll screw up his name, it's Gary Benzatanga, or forgive me for screwing that up, but I think it was him or Peter Marshall who said, a bleeding neck problem. Like if you have somebody who has a bleeding neck problem, they have a different customer journey than somebody who doesn't even realize that they could benefit from your solution. And if you're not creating campaigns that are customized to the customer journey that's relevant to where they're at in the stage of being a customer, then you're missing the boat. You're not going to convert as high as you could. The last P has to do with possibility. Everybody wants to know what's possible. Everybody's buying the transformation. They're not buying your product. They're not buying your service. They're buying the transformation. If you're in real estate, they're buying that brand new house. They're buying the barbecues that they're going to be able to have. They're buying the summer days that they're going to be able to be lounging on that new pool, right? If you're selling, let's say, a copywriting program, they're buying the fact that they're going to write these ads that are going to convert at such a high level that's going to give them such better income. That's what they're buying. They're buying the results, they're buying the transformation, they're buying the benefits. So possibility is something that has to be painted in the good way. It has to be painted in a way that's believable. See, most people don't understand that something could be true and still not be believable. You have to make sure that you make it believable. So those are the 4 Ps, and that's the method that I use when I do all consulting. And to go a little deeper with that, I would tell you that with AI right now, it's everybody just, using prompts and asking questions and just copying and pasting whatever AI generates, right? You know that it's obvious that it's AI, right? I mean, I hope that you're paying attention to that. I hope that you understand that even though AI has done such amazing work and you can do amazing things and you can do things so fast, you have to make sure that you put that human touch on it, right? Because if you don't, that's going to affect your positioning. And say you're using AI for customer service, that's going to affect your positioning if that AI screws up, if there's a glitch. People want to deal with people. People want to do business with people. If you're not providing the best customer experience, the 11-star experience, then you're going to lose. You're going to not get the conversions that you could get, and you're going to be wasting ad spend, effort, and energy on things that are really pointless to even put out there. So I hope that this little mini episode is of help to you. And I hope that if you have any questions, you'll reach out. And remember, always go back to the principles. Always make sure you're addressing the 4 Ps: positioning, presence, proximity, and possibility. If you learn how to work those 4 things, you can improve and optimize any business and any campaign.